10 at 10.
It's nice to know that you can call them and just say, this is what's going on, who do I need to speak to, and they'll connect you to the right ones.
Stopping crimes by making sure you aren't an easy target. That's the message the Fargo Police Department believes everyone, no matter where you live, should take seriously. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us.
Valley News Team's Cornelius Hawker digs into tonight's community safety meeting and has information on how you can keep yourself and your family safe.
These quiet community streets can be very deceiving. So deceiving, people leave their doors unlocked and garages open, according to Sergeant Chris Helmick with the Fargo Police Department.
There's some things that you guys can do to help us out and make this even better neighborhood than it is right now.
Those things were told to more than 24 people that came out for this safety meeting, listening intently and voicing concerns that the Fargo police know are a problem.
We need more officers, and eventually we'll get there. And, we'll do the best with what we got right now, but, that only goes so far for the citizens that are expecting us to be there.
People like Laura Rongren, who says community members need to know they can call the police with any concern.
I've called recently, in fact, not when I was in this neighborhood, but in a different neighborhood, about something that I thought that was little, but my friend said, no, we should probably call it in. And they responded immediately, and there was officers on the scene within 5 minutes of the phone call. So it's nice to know they take all calls seriously.
The main point police stressed during this meeting was don't make yourself an easy target for criminals. The highest crime stats involve theft, burglary, things that are easily avoidable if you take the necessary precautions.
It's common sense. Criminals are going to do what's easy because they want to get away fast. So just keep everything locked, keep things lit. Ask your neighbors to help keep an eye on things if you're going to be out of town. Just use common sense.
Cornelius Hawker, Valley News Live.
Fargo police urge everyone to stay in touch with them on social media sites for them like Facebook and Nextdoor.com. That's where they send out alerts to the community. Now, for a link to these sites, head to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. West Fargo is a city on the grow, and so are some areas of criminal activity. West Fargo police say that there were 26 burglaries in September, 14 homes or storage sheds, and 12 businesses. Police also report 15 arrests for drug offenses, 17 assaults, and 14 DUIs. The crime experts say it's those drug arrests that should have you taking notice.
We're seeing more heroin, and one of the reasons why we're seeing more heroin in this community and other communities is because the price of prescription opioids has gone up.
Thompson says another major factor is the interstate. It's the prime highway for transporting drugs in and out of town.
The driver of a semi was ticketed today after rolling his rig along I-94. Westbound lanes along a stretch of the interstate were blocked temporarily. The rollover occurred just east of Interstate 29's interchange. The driver was traveling too fast while he entered the I-94 westbound ramp. It caused his load to shift and the semi to tip onto its side. Emergency responders say the driver was able to get out of the truck with only lacerations on his hands and arms.
Never forget. It's a pledge aimed at honoring those who serve our country. And several local veterans hope that it will lead to the building of a museum and a meeting center. Valley News Team's Macy Enger talked with several veterans who say it's for the entire community.
Next one here.
Terry Richardson is getting a look at the past, the Air Museum in North Fargo, and he hopes something similar to this will be built in the future to honor the area's military.
We want it to be a nice place for the community, and so you could bring classes. Students could come in and view it just like they come here to the Air Museum.
For almost 4 decades, he and a handful of veterans have talked about building a Veterans Memorial Center, complete with a museum, meeting rooms, and offices dedicated to all veterans.
Clubs are having a tougher time getting by. Maybe not tomorrow, but 10 years from now, I could see it be a real need.
This has been a problem over the years, is the veterans clubs have been too much in competition with one another. Now we're all together, working as one.
This land is where the veterans hope their dream can become a reality. The property was donated to the group, but in order to break ground, they still need to raise $3 million.
It's going to be good for the general population that aren't veterans, so that they have a little opportunity or more opportunity to learn what the service people have have contributed.
The property will sit off of Cheyenne Street in West Fargo. They already have building designs, and once the money is raised, they'll need to beat city approval. But they're confident they'll get the support they need.
We want it to be a nice building in the community that's used by the community.
Then they'll have a chance to share their stories and the stories of so many other veterans in the community.
This is a painting of Stu Bass.
In Fargo, Macy Inger, Valley News Live.
Organizers hope to have all the money raised by next spring and the building complete by 2017. If you'd like to donate, we have the address online. Just go to valleynewslive.com and click on this story.
The nation's largest nonprofit for car donations, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, is accused of misleading the public about millions of dollars worth of donations. The Minnesota Attorney General says less than a quarter of the money was actually going to the charity. The foundation is accused of paying $36 million to two corporations. Those corporations are owned by the executives who manage the charity between 2011 and 2014. But the foundation solicited people to donate cars under a different charity name. And most of the money made off of the one Minnesota woman's car went to two for-profit companies based in Minnesota. One of them a scrapyard and the other an auction house in St. Paul. Both are owned by the same owners of the foundation.
It looks like it's a Make-A-Wish Foundation organization, and that's who I really wanted the money to go to.
Make-A-Wish Minnesota released this statement saying that they were supportive of the investigation and would cooperate. The two charities have 30 days to file a report showing that they've taken the steps to correct the problems pointed out. The Car Donation Foundations say they agree or disagree with the findings, however. They said that the Wheels for Wishes website is clear about amounts given to charity, but they said that they'll make changes that the Attorney General feels are necessary.
Our neighbors to the north are staying away from the valley big time, but it's creating a great travel bargain for Americans. The latest statistic from the Pembina station show 36,000 vehicle crossings in August. That's down 31% from a year ago. Experts say the problem is money. Today, the Canadian dollar is worth only 77 cents in the U.S. However, that means our U.S. dollar is worth $1.29 in Winnipeg. And Winnipeg knows it's a great draw for Americans. That's why we're seeing more advertisements like this, urging Fargo and Grand Forks residents to visit Winnipeg.
It's absolutely something fabulous for us because the Americans can come up and, their dollar can go way further right now. And really the campaign is around coming to shop, come to stay here. If you stay 2 nights, you get the 3rd night free.
Now, despite less Canadian traffic, the latest sales tax collection numbers in Grand Forks are up 8%. If you want to learn more about special offers and attractions in Winnipeg, we have a link on valleynewslive.com. Click on this story.
Kennedy Elementary hosted a health fair tonight that was different than most. Energize Schools Alive was in town offering free activities for children and their families to help them focus on nutrition, physical activity, and how to have some fun. The event also featured a health meal showcase to give families a better idea of what exactly a healthy meal looks like.
This year we're focusing on whole grains, and we're having the kids try the quinoa, so we're hoping that they will like this and try it at home.
Tonight's health fair was sponsored by Sanford Health. It's run by more than 40 health-minded organizations that are all working toward making Fargo-Moorhead one of the healthiest places in America.
Blind Joe's musical talent has hit national attention on NBC's hit show The Voice, but he's also reached the attention of many right here in the Valley in person. Today, Blind Joe performed at South Elementary. That brings his total school visits to about 6 so far this week. But there was something a little more special about this school visit. He was invited by a student who wrote him a letter in Braille. In the 5th grader's note, he wishes Blind Joe good luck and says he'll, of course, be tuning into the show.
I was super excited, and my Braille teacher thought, you should totally write a letter to Blind Joe. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that. And I wrote, good luck, I'll be watching along the way, and I'm not gonna miss a single episode he does.
Voice is on Mondays and Tuesdays on NBC at 7 p.m.